this is JC. Welcome to Missed Again, where every missed shot is a lesson. It's not about perfect play, it's about my struggles and honest progress. The most important thing you need to elevate your pool game to the next level is to ensure you have a smooth, straight stroke. Unless you are a naturally gifted pool player, it takes conscious hard work to develop a consistent, smooth, straight stroke. The first step in developing your stroke is to know if it is straight and identify what is wrong with it if it is not. Previously, I didn't even know that my stroke had multiple flaws that resulted in it swooping to my left. Fortunately, I fixed my stroke and am now working on consistency, which will improve over time. To help figure out the straightness of your billet stroke, I designed a stroke check tool that you can print out and use straight away at the pool hall or even at home. Just go to missedagainpool.com or click on the link in the description or pinned comment to download the tool for free. If you'd like to show some appreciation, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. The stroke check tool can be used to test the straightness of any type of shot. For many players, the stroke may be straight for soft to medium strokes but goes haywire on hard hits. Let's first have a look at the tool. Please note, this is not a scientific instrument, but the design is effective in its simplicity. The thick black line is where the cue shaft will pass over, and the circle is where the cue ball will be placed. The three horizontal lines are 3 inches or 7.6 centimeters apart. These are guidelines for soft, medium, and hard shots. In general, the harder you hit, the longer the follow-through will be, although it does depend on the style of your stroke. There are 2 slanted lines that diverge from the circle. These are reference lines to see how out of line your stroke is if it is not straight. If your stroke goes off to either side but within the slanted lines, you need to make some minor adjustments to straighten your stroke. If your stroke goes offline past the slanted lines either to the right or left, there's a major flaw in your stroke that needs to be fixed. If your stroke goes left and right past the slanted lines in a single stroke, you might have a crooked cue, or maybe you need to take up a new sport. Let's put the cue ball in place and explore how to use the tool. You can use the tool to check the straightness of your stroke for any shot. However, you should film the strokes so that you can review the quality of your strokes against the tool. It is very difficult to just watch your stroke in real time to evaluate the stroke. Set up a camera or your smartphone on a tripod. Ideally, you want a fairly top-down angle on the cue ball and tool. If you're shooting along the long rail, you can set up the tripod on the other side of the table along the long rail. If you're shooting from the short rail, you can put the tripod on the table and position the tripod legs so that you're shooting under and through the legs. You can test your stroke with straight shots and cut shots, as well as shooting the cue ball to the rail and back to your cue tip. Here's a basic way to use the tool. Align the tool and point it towards a rail. Place the cue ball on the circle. Get down on the shot and shoot the cue ball with the center ball hit straight into the cushion, with the intention of having it return to your cue tip. Start with a soft stroke. Observe if the end of your cue shaft stays within the thick black line or swoops to either the left or right. When you've successfully returned the cue ball straight several times, try a medium hit. For me, that results in the cue tip ending up on or near the middle horizontal line. Review the straightness of your stroke. Finally, try a hard hit. For me, that results in the cue tip ending up on or near the top horizontal line. If you can consistently stay straight on line for hard shots, your stroke is likely straight. Now let's identify common stroke issues based on how your stroke looks over the tool. This is from the perspective of a right-hander who uses their right arm as their cueing arm. Reverse the instructions if you are lefty. The first scenario is when your cue swoops to the left but stays within the slanted line. In this case, you're likely clenching your cue butt tight upon impact with the cue ball. The tightening of your grip causes the cue to twist slightly to the left. Another possibility is that your wrist turns slightly upon impact with the cue ball. It is also possible that your clenching or twisting is more extreme and your stroke swoops out of the slanted line. In that case, it is a major flaw. The second scenario is when your cue swoops to the left and swoops past the slanted line. This is likely because you chicken wing, and this was one of my problems previously. The chicken wing is most likely caused because your shoulder rotates forward upon impact with the cue ball, causing your elbow to jut out. This will almost always cause the cue to swoop left. Ensure you lock your shoulder and forearm hinges only at the elbow. If you physically cannot control the shoulder rotation as I cannot, you may have to adopt the stroke slip technique as I do. The third scenario is when your cue swoops to the right but stays within the slanted line. This is likely because you're pulling your arm too close to your body or tensing up too much because you want to ensure your shoulder and elbow are locked. This causes friction between your arm and chest, which throws the stroke off slightly to the right. Loosen up your cue arm and don't pull it so tightly to your body when you stroke. The fourth scenario is when your cue swoops to the right and swoops past the slanted line. The likely issue is that your stance is wrong for your body type or stroke style. Your body is getting in the way of your stroke, causing your arm to subconsciously swoop to the right to avoid hitting your body. Change your stance such that your body is more to the left, out of the way of your cueing arm. This clears the way for a straight stroke that does not swoop to the right. The final scenario will not be captured by the tool, but you will see it in your video review if you film from the side. This is when you lift up on the stroke upon impact with the cue ball. It could be because you stand up during the shot or simply raise your cue as you stroke. Keep your stroke as level as possible and stay down on the shot till you follow through with the shot. Here's how you can use the tool to practice your stroke at home. I use it daily to try to drill my stroke technique movements into muscle memory. Place the tool onto a table. You can tape down the tool so it doesn't move around. Simply imagine the cue ball in the circle and practice your stroke. Practice soft, medium, and hard hits using the horizontal guidelines. It is best if you place the table in front of a mirror so you can see your stroke mechanics from the side as you practice the strokes. Here's a simple setup in my study. Well, that's it for this video on how to use the stroke check tool. I hope it will help you audit your stroke and figure out if you have any issues to address. If your stroke is not straight and you can't figure out why, consider looking for a qualified coach or reach out to me and maybe I can point you in the right direction. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. It will really help the channel out. You can also support the channel by buying one of my merch items at missagainpool.com. Every miss makes us better, so let's grow together. My name is JC. Try not to miss again.